Okay, Uncle Roddus back again, video time. What up, homies? Punk it up, man. Okay. Two rather noisy records have arrived this week. Razed Roar is a small-time punk sort of label. Not a lot of vinyl, a few 7 inches and bits and pieces, a lot of cassettes, I believe. I haven't really looked at their Bandcamp in that closer detail, but I do keep an eye out, and I haven't really got a lot of their stuff because there's not a lot of albums on vinyl, but this one is what's playing behind me. This is a reissue of an original, I don't know, sort of a compilation, I guess, of a whole lot of stuff that this band recorded. Gidra, I think, Invincible Deluxe, originally released in 1996 on CD and cassette. This is a nice new vinyl reissue. There's something like 22 songs on this, you know, there's short, punky stuff. And while I was picking that up, I decided to grab a copy of this. I'd been aware of it for a while and heard a couple of bits of it. This is Piggery. Yeah, they put this out, 2019 or something. This is actually a repress, believe it or not, but this is a limited edition repress of 100, and this is number 64. So I didn't pick it up the first time round. That's more crusty, sort of grungier sounding stuff, so that's pretty cool. That's just an EP, it's 6 tracks of Piggery. So some flying out arrivals came in very early in the week, or was it late last week? First up, we have the new LP from Kendall Elise. This is countrified pop, or country. I mean, it's pretty strong country feel to it. I think this is like her first album. I really enjoyed it. It was just a blind buy. I picked it up out of Flying Out. It was out a couple of years ago, and it was really good. Very strong Americana country tinged LP. This is slightly more poppier. They always seem to do this. They always seem to go a bit more pop, but still a very strong country tinge on this, and it is pretty cool. I won't say I like it as much as her first one just yet. Still getting to grips with it. I haven't actually been listening to them much this week because I'm having a Flying Nun binge, and I have put a Flying Nun video up that I made last weekend, and that was really in celebration of Flying Nun's 40th anniversary. And there's a big art display on at the local gallery of Flying Nun record covers and art and posters from the heyday of Flying Nun, who are still going. So I've drawn out all my Flying Nun records, and I've been playing through them, so I've been only listening to that. This here is called Little Bark USB from 2015. This was floating around on the shop up there at Flying Out on their website, and it was really cheap, so I picked a copy up. It's electro synth pop sort of thing. Yeah, interesting. I wouldn't rant and rave about it, but it's pretty cool. And then this one here, the Beth's a double live LP of material culled from their first 2 records. Wow, this is really cool. I'm really enjoying this. It is fantastically well recorded on blue vinyl. So yeah, I've seen them live a couple of times, and the first time I thought they were okay. The second time they were much better in a bigger venue. And this was recorded in Auckland last year, and this is really good. And you know, yeah, a fantastic band of funky indie pop. They had some fantastic melodies. Yeah, both on blue vinyl. So that's just come out in this last couple of weeks. So really pleased to have that. I don't think. Are any of these on coloured vinyl? Just quickly check. Oh yeah, this one is, you might not see it, but it's a very dark purple. Put it towards the light, I don't know if you can see that. So yes, that is a coloured one, very dark. It probably just looks black on this video. They had a really dark green one like that the other week, and that was the same. It didn't really look coloured on the video. And then today, sorry, not yet. And then during last weekend also, I'd spotted this on a video. Careful. Cheers, everybody. Max Ginger Beer, my brew of choice. This is not alcoholic. This is a soft drink full of bloody sugar, so it's no good for you. But I really like this, especially after being out mowing lawns and doing hard work on a hot summer day. It's not a hot summer day yet, but it's starting to warm up here. Cheers, everybody. So, a couple of months ago, while we were still in lockdown, in the second lockdown, Creep's record parlour up in Wellington, who kind of took over from Death Ray Records. I suspect they got most of Death Ray's stock, and one of the guys who worked in Death Ray's is working in there. They put up a live video where they were wandering around the shop and looking through the bins, and people commenting and saying, yeah, I'd like to buy that record. And I spotted this one. And I didn't have any money at the time. We were in lockdown. I wasn't working. But since, of course, we're back out of lockdown now and work is absolutely mad, I thought I'd pick up a copy. Oh, do I need to do a bit of glue there? Oh, no. So this is another New Zealand compilation, another very obscure New Zealand compilation. The Full Nelson out of Palmerston North from 2001, a Lizard Mole compilation. So I think Lizard Mole was the record company. Surprisingly, this was funded by Creative New Zealand, the Art Council of New Zealand, so that's quite interesting. Yeah, Palmerston North. So, yeah, this is pretty cool. I must have been aware of this way back because it was on my want list, but I'd forgotten all about it. So some pretty dark and grungy sort of stuff on here. Really cool. And today I went into town. Today I had to go and do a wee job for my dad. He wanted me to put up a sensor light for him, so I had to shoot up to Rangiora to do that. On the way I popped in, had a look at another job on the way through, and then I went into town, dropped some gear off, pick up some stuff, and went to Penny Lane, yeah. The pickings were a little bit thin. I mean, I was only there a couple of weekends ago. I picked up a whole lot of stuff which showed in just my last video. But I did find this one, Luke Hurley. This is, I believe, his second LP. Now, Luke Hurley's still around. He just put out an LP a couple of years ago, and I believe he's got another one on the way. But he sort of had a big period in between times that he didn't do a lot, and this was from the 1980s on JREM Records. And I can't tell you what year just here, because it doesn't tell me, but around about the mid-80s. No. Now, there's a song here called Mona Lisa. Now, I remembered that song. Chris played it recently, or a few months back, or last year on one of his shows, and I instantly recognised it. So it was a song that got a lot of play on student radio back in the 80s. So, but that's all I really know. His new album, last album, was pretty cool. This one, I believe, was a second LP. He had one on cassette, just briefly from my quick flick on Discogs before, and then there might have been another one after this, but I think he was pretty quiet after that for most of the time until the last few years. So this one here has been in the bins for a while, and this is an old time 70s New Zealand record. This is from 1970. Hog Snort Rupert. Have a Hog Snort Rupert Summer. Now I remember them because they have a track called Auntie Alice Brought Us This, and they also have another track called Pretty Girl. Now those were two rather big sizable hits around the country way back when I was a toddler, and I remember them from, maybe later on a bit more. They're obviously still getting some radio play. This isn't the sort of music I would normally buy, but actually those two songs are pretty cool, and I think the nearest thing you could compare them to would be Mungo Jerry, and I don't know for sure, but that's especially Pretty Girl. Pretty Girl has a real Mungo Jerry, feel to it, so maybe they were a little bit influenced. Although was Mungo Jerry before or after 1970? I'm not sure. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know how I'm going to like this record. I do like those two songs. They are quite cool, but I don't know what the rest of it's going to be like. There are a few. These are cheap records. There are a few of their records around. Well, a couple of, you see, yeah, they're not hard to find. Also today, I picked up this one. I'd only not long ago become familiar with it again from Chris playing a track of this on the Counting the Beat podcast. The Buckets Full, their only EP from 1980 something or other, 84, 85, mixed in 84, 3-track EP. Really obscure underground, not underground, but I don't know what you call it, indie poppy, probably a little bit of Flying Nun type influence on there, I guess. And then the last New Zealand one today, I don't know why I grabbed this, but I did. Push, the reissue of their one and only LP. This was, they had a track called Tripping, which is on side 2. That was their big hit back in the early 90s. It was in 92, I think. And I think it was probably a little bit influenced by the big grunge thing that was going on. It was pretty full on. Some of the members, or one of the particular member, Mikey Havoc, he went on to become quite well known in New Zealand circles as a DJ and radio and TV host. But this was the only LP they put out. It was originally released on vinyl back in the day, and it's on this purple vinyl. So I have no idea what this is going to be like. I mean, the Tripping song, it was okay. I guess I quite enjoyed it on the day. I remember it. I don't know what the rest of this is going to be like. But, it's cool to have that in my New Zealand collection. And last of the day, just for the sake of spending money, I didn't have to buy this because I have it on CD, but I thought I would give it a go because for some reason it doesn't want to come out of the bag. Something's going on here. I'll have to deal with that. Okay, no, hang on. Let me just try this. There we go. Someone must have done a bit of gluing. Why the frig won't this come out of the bag?
Is under our direction. He is sure to defeat your mother.
Hang on. It's like the bag is stuck to the edge of the record. I'm going to get pretty serious with this in a minute. I'd like to show you without the bag. What happened there? Okay, a little bit battered, but it's a pretty lo-fi record anyway. King Crimson's Earthbound. I used to have this on vinyl, I have it on CD. This is actually one of my most favourite live albums. I mean, the recording is lo-fi as hell. It's full on distorted, but it's just the passion and energy of their playing in this is absolutely awesome. And I don't know why I do it, but I absolutely love this record. It's my favourite King Crimson record. I have a few King Crimson on CD. I used to have on vinyl. Lark's Tongue and Aspic is probably my favourite of theirs. I used to have a lot of that later stuff from the early 80s. Thela Hunjunji, I think it was called, which was a really cool song. But yeah, I love this record. It was pretty cheap. I hope it's in reasonably good nick. If it's not, I'll have to take it back. I don't know why it was stuck there. This is a New Zealand issue on Island from 1972, so it's an original New Zealand copy by the looks of it. Actually, the vinyl looks absolutely stunning. It looks absolutely perfect. That looks brilliant. So they'll get it clean tonight, and I know live LPs. Well, that best one's really good. But generally, from the early days, I wasn't a big fan of live LPs, except for people like Frank Zappa. He was always good at doing live stuff. But some of the more famous stuff, live LPs always a bit dodgy. And like I say, this one is very dodgy, quality-wise, sound quality-wise, but I absolutely adore it. So, okay, there's me. Cheers, everybody. Max Ginger Beer.